history of culture, keep the big shows. One set of girls and banner. Cause I done fed up, you done fed up, he done fed up, she done fed up, we done fed up, the people fed up. They hiding corruption inside the cup, look how we evil set up. The people fed up. Every picture you take and promise you make, everything you do is about clout. Then you come into me for I shake your hand, there's nothing to smile about. Corruption inside every sector, but when it comes to them, they send you. Try investigate efficiency, right? Go talk to Baratans too, cause I done fed up, you done fed up, he done fed up, she done fed up, we done fed up, the people fed up. You're hiding corruption inside the cup, look how we evil set up. The people fed up. I done fed up on the dirty water, low pressure, want scream and tell somebody. Imagine 1500 US and they're telling we super salary. I done fed up on the unemployment racism and the lie they say one Guyana. Cause when you look with the oil money going, circulate with one set of banner. Cause I done fed up, you done fed up, he done fed up, she done fed up, we done fed up, the people fed up. You're hiding corruption inside the cup, look how we evil set up. The people.
Yeah, my name is Jacinti Caldata Francis Vietnam, and since 1965 I become a voter, and I always place my ex next to the cup, and what they are doing today, I can't take it. So I have no more vote to give to PPP anymore. I'm not going to vote anymore no more. If they have to lose by one vote, they're losing it by data.
Basement level vibes with another one, straight up blackness. Aye, who tell the truth? Mark Benskop, defend the ghetto youth. Mark Benskop, radio station is the fruit. Mark Benskop, straight up from the root. Mark Benskop, who tell the truth? Mark Benskop, defend the ghetto youth. Mark Benskop, radio station is the fruit. Mark Benskop, straight up from the root. Mark Benskop, I do it for the love, him not do it for no money. Straight up, him attack, educating everybody. Big up my friends and big up my family. Turn on the radio, catch the vibes, it's integrity. Straight up.
All right, hey, guess what? Good night and welcome to Straight Up. We are going to rock and roll for however long you guys want us to rock and roll. Tonight, we will do that. But remember, as you prepare to vote, what's happening in Guyana? They are giving you those T-shirts to wear and paying you $10,000. They're promising you house lots, all sorts of things they're promising you, right? But they cannot deliver. The truth of the matter is they just cannot deliver. And we all know it. All of you know it. So don't beat around the bush, guys. Let's not beat around the bush. You all know what is happening in Guyana. The corruption by the PPP regime. Every single thing is corruption. Every single thing is corruption upon corruption upon corruption. That is why we here at 107.1 FM, we are here to expose those vagabonds, those PPP vagabonds. That's what they are, and that is why they need to be kicked out of office. When I say kicked out, I really do mean kicked out by the ballot, mind you. So you've got to prepare yourself to go out there and vote. The people in Victoria, there's a question for you guys tonight, and specifically the Victorians, because I've noticed the devils are passing through Victoria. You've got to remember the rich history of that village. Do not allow the Tantimurls them, who do not care about your village, who do not respect your ancestors and the hard work by your ancestors. Those ancestors were able to work as hard as possible to pull their monies up, and they were able to buy that village. Many of you should know the rich history of Victoria, a strong village, a powerful village, just like the other villages that we know about, where African ancestors were able to pull up their monies that they worked hard for. They didn't smuggle anything for that. They worked hard for their monies. They pulled it up, and they got villages like Victoria, and so forth and so on. So when the swines walk through, when the political swines walk through your village, stop for a moment. Stop for a moment and say, hey, wait a minute. Victoria is not for sale. Buxton is not for sale. Villages across the quarantine are not for sale. Epsom, Evesham, Bengal, Philippi, Cromarty, Kilmarnock, Kildonan, Limlair, Nerney. Go on and on and on and on. Those villages are not for sale. In fact, the entire Guyana is not for sale. Do not let those PPP vagabonds fool you. Now, I can't believe I started off this show with not even a good night, not even an anything. You guys jumped right into this, except my friend Desiree Narain. Desiree, how are you doing? I noticed you celebrated a birthday the other day. I noticed these things about good people. I've known Desiree. How long I've known you, Desiree? Beautiful woman. She has beautiful kids too. Lovely woman, good-spirited woman. She celebrated her birth anniversary just the other day. I recall folks like Desiree never passed me in Guyana. I think once Desiree saw me protesting all alone, and she threw a dry tennis roll at me. And Desiree, I just wanted to say how much I needed it that day. And I thank you so much, my friend. Belated birthday greetings to Desiree Narain. She is here, always with us, right here on 107.1 FM. And now, to continue on the birthday trend, as you know, this is not a birthday or a Best Buy request. Many of you remember Pancho Carew, is it? And a Best Buy request. Well, this is straight up. We want to acknowledge all of our supporters, all of our friends. I don't like to use the word fans, right? Because I don't have fans. I have friends, good friends, mind you. Not the pia friends, as Clem David would use that term, pia. Again, good night to all of you. If you shared the link already, thank you. If you didn't, can't force you guys. Can't force you guys at all. Well, Wayne Caesar is in the audience, and he is going to ensure that you guys share the link. All right, because we have links to share. Lemon put the headline here. The headline is definitely more boots, and we're going to take it as raw as possible. More boots pon the ground. This is election season, guys. Election season. Elections around the corner. September 1st is elections. Now is the time that you got to get more boots pon the ground. More boots pon the ground. Turn to your neighbors and say, more boots pon the ground, right? William Cato and all of you beautiful people, all of you, more boots pon the ground. You need to see more boots pon the ground, elections boots pon the ground in Linden, in Ituni, in Kokwani. You cannot allow the vagabonds to go into Kokwani. And when I say vagabonds, I really do mean vagabonds. Those who pop up now pretending as though they like you, when in fact they just don't like you, when in fact they know nothing about your community. How can somebody who knows nothing about your community, forget about the corrupt PPP regime, forget about those vagabonds, but how can somebody pop into your community suddenly, open arms like that? It's just like me walking around Stabrook Market sometime, and there was this lady, I don't know who she is. She opened her arm and said, Mark, let me give you a hug. She spoke with I think it was a French accent. She's from Guyana or something like that. But somebody told her about me. She's a stranger. I really don't know who she was. And so she said, come, give me a hug. Stupidity me now. Thought that it's a good hug, French. See you, bye. Rush up to take this hug. When she squeezed me, she was taller than me, armpit, everything. I almost blocked out. Now, that never happened. But let's say that this is the case with those who are popping into your communities now, stretching out their arms to hug you. Be careful with the hugs. You guys get the message, right? Be careful with the hugs. Not all hugs are real hugs. Not all love are real love. And not all kiss are real kisses. They have kiss of death. They have all sort of things. Be careful of who you hug. Be careful of who you kiss. Be careful of who you say, I love you back to. Because the devil will come in disguise and pretend as though they love you, pretend as though they love you, and they want to do good for you. It's not the case at all. So as you approach this election, September 1st, sit back and ask yourself this question. Who really cares for you? Is it just a show that they're putting on all across it? Take a look at all of the so-called candidates. Take a look at them and ask the question, who you think really loves you? Forget about the boy in Linden that said, Linden, do you love me? Make some noise if you... Like if he's constipated. Linden, make some noise if you love me. Sorry about that, guys, but we had to put that in. Make some noise if you love me.
Linden, make some noise. Linden, if you love me, make some noise.
Nana out there, no end. No. Nana out there, no end.
Now we will continue. Make some noise. This is not about making some noise and love and this. You gotta have a track record. You can't pop into or step on the gas and This is not about a fashion. This is not about showing off wealth and all these sort of things. This is about making it right for people. And you've got to do that. You've got to make it right for people. This is the elections that you've got to make it right. Don't throw away your votes. Was it Courtney Melody who sang? Many of you know that reggae. The old timers, where are they? Some of the old timers, 1 minute, but the old timers should know this, Afras Usman. Don't throw away your love. Don't throw away Courtney Melody. Back in those days, those were good songs, right? Biltmore, Love People, and all those different things, and Starlight Ballroom, and Tilden Ballroom. Don't throw away your love. Well, I'm saying this to you guys, if you come closer, so that I can whisper to you again, as loud as possible, do not throw away your votes at all. Do not waste your votes at all. People may come to you and tell you that they love you, that they want to do good for you, and all these things. Ask yourself, suddenly you're in my neighborhood, suddenly you're in the country, and you suddenly know my pain. You've ignored my pains all those years. You've ignored the struggles all those years. You've ignored the people who were persecuted all those years. You've ignored the hundreds of people who were slaughtered all those years. You never said a word about injustices. You never said a word about those who were persecuted. You never said a word about anything. And now suddenly, like thieves, you sneak up in the night and you crawl up. You're trying to smuggle our love away. Don't smuggle our love away. Don't smuggle. The operative word. Sit back, people, and think for a moment. Are you going to throw your votes away? Don't do that. Don't gamble with your future. Don't gamble with your kids' future. Don't gamble with the country's wealth. For too long, it has been given to friends and cronies, billions of dollars. You think people were able to make billions of dollars just like that without friends and cronies in government? That they abuse you, the ordinary people? That none of them cared about you before. For all those years, they never cared about whether you got a house lot, whether you got duty-free concession. All they were concerned about is themselves and enriching themselves and their friends and families and cronies. And if they can control the police force, they control every single sector. And now suddenly, they open their arms and say, come, give me a hug. Let me say this to you guys again. Not everything that glitters is gold, you know. Not everything. Be careful with that. Don't let people swar you guys with gold dust. Sometimes the gold dust can cost you your life. can cost you your future. And in some instances, bank accounts. Good night and welcome to Straight Up. My name is Mark Benshap. Look, lots of things happening. Lots of things happening. Forget about Barat Judea. Forget about that cross, the biggest cross in the nation. We all know that. But check this out. GPL, 650,000 US dollars per month for a consultant. Did I say consultant? A consultant in Guyana is making 650,000 US dollars. Somebody's thieving the money. Jagdeo has to answer. Anything that comes up that has the name, the word thief in it, Jagdeo comes to mind. Thief in it, Irfan Ali comes to mind. Not the 19 fraud charges. Don't forget that. Anything that has thieving in it. Thieving, thief. Them a thief. 650,000 US dollars. Can somebody ask, what's going on? Where is that money going? And who's the consultant? Who are those people? Who recommended the consultant? Now, the consultant or consultants may be getting quarter of that $650,000. The question is, who is getting the bulk of the money? With that money, they're going to buy Ferrari, they're going to buy Lamborghini. Did I say Lamborghini? Because it looks as though they're running race with each other who can get more expensive vehicles and fancy vehicles and fight. It's a personal war, guys. Why do you want to get caught up with people and their personal war? That they think that Guyana belongs to them and all the riches and all the lands they're fighting for. And then they're using you guys to fight their battles for them. It is sickening. Now, I saw a video with a youngster, a young African Guyanese guy, right? Apparently, he was forced. Look, you don't have to go to college, university, or wherever to watch that video and know that that guy did that video under duress. And he was driving a truck. He was just somewhere like that. I put aside Mohammed and his sanctions and all them things and the smuggling gold and the according to a source indictments in the U.S. and all. Forget about that for now. Well, let us try to make sense out of what the sheriff, because they're personal buddies and friends, and they're fighting a personal war because Ahmed or whatever his name is, sheriff, is Azruddin Mohammed's stepson-in-law. So it's a big family affair. And you guys are caught up in the middle, Pull yourself out of family business. Because when they fight and they're fighting each other and they're using you all to fight and using you all to bark. No pun intended there on that barking part. When they all get together and they get back together and they heal up and everything is back on track. Because even as we speak now, guess what? There's still behind the scenes the players who trying to mend the fence and mend things, Y'all do not get caught up with people's personal war. Now let's talk about that youngster. He said that he was somewhere, and then Mohammed Azruddin, I think Azruddin grabbed him and tell him to go and steal sheriff's truck. No, man, it's bare stupidness, right? There's an elections around the corner, and to sit and these people know how to distract people, right? And I had to laugh when I saw that thing. I laugh. The banner. And nobody pay me to do this, but I just think it's just dotishness. Look, so he is saying that Azruddin grab you and force you to thief a truck. No, Azruddin obviously is no angel. Them banners did some, based on the U.S. law enforcement agency, some things that will hurt y'all belly, but I really believe the story. I tell you all the truth, right? I had to laugh. And you guys know that I don't know how to laugh. I laugh like them old market lady. Shake up your whole body, like them Buxton. Sorry, let me not pick on the Bostonians. All right, so it's craziness going on, man. Craziness, family and friends fighting each other. Y'all do not be distracted. Focus on the elections. Focus on kicking the PPP out of office. Don't focus on them friends and families and they get a little money and they splattering here, there, money there. And it makes you want to laugh when you see those jokers, right? They're jokers. They're not politicians. They're not leaders. They can't do anything good for you other than probably try to corrupt your mind and tease you with little money, and put the money next to you and you're sniffing out or you. Let's get to GPL again. Allegation, sexual harassment, allegations against the HR manager, Ravindra Ramlal. We heard, according to a source, that there was a report, a young lady, Miss Prasad, reported to the police. We got the name, we got every single thing, reported to the police that he sexually harassed her. What's happening at GPL, man? What's going on there with the HR manager, Ravindra Ramlal, based on a source or several sources that we have? Ravindra Ramlal, the HR manager, sexually harassed and probably more. Who knows? Allegations, mind you. Miss Prasad, we got her first name, we got every single thing. A report was made to the police. We don't know what has happened to that. And so we are asking that question. Ravindra Ramlal, the HR manager at the Guyana Power and Light, what's happening with those allegations? And we've got to keep an eye on Miss Prasad. She's said to be the victim. We don't know what's happening other than the fact that there's serious allegations leveled against Ravindra Ramlal. We'll talk about that some other time. Very soon. We'll talk about that. It's a serious matter, but we'll talk about it. A very serious matter. We will talk about it. The HR manager. But what happened today, man? What happened today? There was they had press conference and all these sort of things. They had press conference. I don't know. They had press conference. Man, all these, every minute is some breaking news. Somebody send me some breaking news. I'm tired of the breaking news. When you look around, the story never break. The news never break. So somebody just sent me a breaking news. Man, breaking news. Here what? Breaking news is when you get to see exactly what the breaking news is. But every single minute we're inundated with breaking news, and we know where the news break from, where's the news, breaking news. Give me a break. But they had a press conference today. Let's take a listen, please.
My brothers and sisters of this beautiful country, I'm not a fool. Some people abuse me, they use me, and they try to take advantage on me. But today I stand in front of you as a law-abiding citizen of this country, and what I want to say, I want each and every one of us to have some type of love. Just show love. Love is the way forward. On the social media is a distraction. They lie to us every single day. We've been accused. We have been accused every single day. Earlier, I watched someone on social media, someone made posts, oh, Mr. Azadine pays some man $1 million to steal a truck. Lies? People lied on you every day. And what has been done? You think it's okay for somebody to lie on your name? Your name is very important. Your name is your brand. And you got to protect your brand.
No, I'm not going to say anything. Doggy is doggy, right? Doggy talking. Doggy trying. Doggy got to survive. Doggy knows how to survive, mind you. Don't be fooled. Doggy knows how to survive. Good night to Doggy if he's watching. That's all I would say. Doggy's press conference. But again, do not be distracted. There's seriousness in the elections. The elections around the corner. September 1st, elections around the corner. Do not be distracted. Lots and lots of distractions. Do not be distracted. Now, look, I don't know how the reporters in Guyana missed this. They seem to be focused on so many different things, right? Breaking news in the wrong area, also sanctions that incoming anytime soon, at least not by September 1st, and all manner of things. But they missed this here. I want you guys to take a listen to this, right? Oh, yeah, Isabella.
Now we move on to the financial and economic story of the year. We please welcome journalist and broadcaster with Bloomberg, Francine Lacroix, former judge at these awards, in fact.
It's there. It's there.
Once again, the judges were just thinking, what do we do with that music? Let's meet my dance partner. Once again, the judges were bowled over by the diversity and quality of the nominees, as the FPA's definition of what is an economic story is quite broad. All three finalists were described as standouts, and they thought that in a normal year, any one of them could have won. The first nomination is a Guardian long read from Sophie Elmhurst with Superprime. Go for it. Superprime Mover, Britain's most successful estate agent. The judges were very impressed with the quality of the writing in this quirky and unusual piece that lifted the lid on the activities of London's leading luxury estate agent. They found it gripping from the beginning and appreciated the humour in her writing. They praised the extraordinary access Sophie Elmhurst was given to produce this entertaining and intimate portrait of a man at the top of his field. The second nominees in this category are Andy Verity and Sarah Bowen with the Lowball Tapes for BBC Radio 4. This series on the libel scandal was thought brilliant, as it was a dry subject made truly interesting, an impressive feat. A difficult technical story told very simply but superbly with great verve, which exposed the cover-up of a fraud ordered from the top of the financial system and the prosecution of 38 traders for something not regarded as a crime anywhere but in the UK. It made one judge's blood boil, as it was a story of such gross miscarriage of justice. And the final nomination in this category is from Isabel Young and Belle Cushing of Vice News with Undercover in Guyana. The judges were very impressed that Isabel Young went undercover in this fresh and extraordinary piece of journalism to expose how corruption in Guyana goes to the very top of government, and how she then fearlessly confronted the Guyanese vice president on camera about his own apparent corrupt dealings on huge multinational projects. The undercover nature of this story was sometimes scary to watch, but the payoff at the end was astonishing. One judge said, one of the best TV investigative reports I've ever seen. May I now invite Francine Lacroix to reveal the winner.
So the winners of the financial and economic story of the year are Isabel Young and Belle Cushing for Vice News with Undercover in Guyana.
Hello. Me and my colleague, who we'll call Mr. Chan, presented ourselves as investors looking to get involved in mining, logging and construction. We spent weeks working our way into elite business circles and captured conversations we wouldn't normally have heard. Eventually, we were welcomed to a private country retreat where we met influential business people, including one timber exporter who offered us advice on how to best work the system.
Everything under the table. 反正这个国家都是这样的。最怕的不他，你他就掉了。
跟谁的关系是最重要的？总统还是？
怎么讲呢？你和副总统关系好的，基本上没问题的。你不用总统啊，副总统你就什么那个打扰我，打电话。我都唔驚啊你。
Congratulations, Isabel Young and Belle Cushing.
All right, Isabella Young there. She's now a senior correspondent there at the CNN. She's at CNN now, as you know, Vice News. Went out of operations, and she's now with CNN. Isabella, congratulations. Of course, this didn't happen last night. It happened in 2022, but for some reason, everybody missed it. Everybody were, most folks were probably, or some folks were probably more focusing on breaking news that never break, never come around. Again, guys, do not be distracted. Stick to what the prize is. The prize is September 1st, and you've got to go out. You've got to do your duty. They got people calling and asking that should they go home and vote? Should they go home and vote? That shouldn't be a question that you want to ask. If your heart tells you that that is what you want to do, then do just that. However, we are hearing allegations about at the embassy, the Guyana embassy in Washington, D.C., and the Guyana consulate in New York City, that they are allowing individuals to go and cast their votes, proxy votes at those places. Now, it is illegal. And if so, and there is evidence, well, those so-called diplomats from Guyana who are taking part in that sort of illegal activities, because we know what happens at the Guyana consulate. We know what they do there, mind you. They have a lot of lagu-bagus there, and they have a Sam Hines, Chief Lagu-Bagu. We've got to keep an eye on them. And if there are individuals who are working there, can continue to give some information, we'll appreciate that greatly. Give us some information. We want to know what's going on, what's happening there, because they are not going to. The corrupt government of Guyana is not going to rig the elections. It is not going to happen, not at all. Now, you heard that moments ago. Vice News reporter, well, Vice News is no longer in operations, but Isabella Young, everybody loves Isabella Young now. You're going to see everybody's gravitate. That's one thing with the opposition. For the most part, they don't do their homework. They're not as aggressive as they should be. But I hope now that elections are around the corner, they can be far more aggressive. That is why we put more boots on the ground. But everybody's going to love Isabella now, right? Everyone is going to love Isabella for a couple mornings, and then they go to something else. But this is the corrupt guy, possibly the most corrupt man in South America.
There and fabricate that. Unless you say who the person is, I can't comment on anonymous people.
Okay, well, let's talk about specific individuals. What is your relationship with Mr. Su Jurong?
Su? Oh, Su? My relationship? Nothing. He's a tenant in my place, yeah.
And he's a good friend of yours?
Yes, yes, he is a friend of ours.
Oh, yeah. He's a friend of who? Where is Sue? Then he promised that he's going to evict Sue. Then he promised that he was going to take Sue to court, that Sue was lying and all manner of things. Do you know that Sue continues to do business in Guyana and continues to make hundreds of millions of US dollars right there in Guyana? Meanwhile, the ordinary tax people, ordinary taxpayers of Guyana, every elections time, they're being taken advantage of and for granted by a set of individuals who don't really care about them. They don't. That is why this elections, you gotta look at individuals who care about you, individuals who are there for you in the struggle, who stood up for you, not individuals who now pop out of nowhere after they've milked the country, milked taxpayers and all these things, whether it's PPP, whether it's Azruddin Mohammed and those guys. They don't care about you. Honestly, they just don't care about you. They could put my friend Doggy to put him in a suit and all sort of things. Doggy will be Doggy, mind you, right? Guyana.
I can't take it no more. I can't take it no more. Can't take it no more. Imagine 18 hours of blackout, and you're telling people progress. Cost of living gone up 100%, yet you give public servant less. Mr. President, listen to the people. Search your soul and you will confess. I want you try survive.
So here's a question I want to ask you guys. Suddenly, because it's elections time, the corrupt PPP regime walking around, and they have instructed that guy, that puppet sitting there as the commissioner of police, they've instructed him to go out. And guess what? To start promoting police officers who should have been promoted. Some of them were stifled during the 23 years of the corrupt PPP regime, all because they didn't want to be used by the PPP regime. They didn't want to be used by corrupt businessmen who smuggle gold, who smuggle fuel, who export cocaine and drug lords and those sort of things, and phantom squad killers and death squad killers, and those who support terrorism, and those who smuggle stuff and finance terrorism in the Middle East and other places, even terrorism in Guyana and assassinations in Guyana. You trust the country being in the hands of corrupt individuals? Oh, Father. I don't know what to say. Sometimes when I see some of you guys and I see some of the comments and I see who you embrace, and don't get me wrong, you're free to do whatever you want to do, right? But sometimes I wonder. I see the hypocrisy. Lots and lots of hypocrisy. Was it? I don't know. I just don't know. I see it. Good night to the people in Linden. They are going through some serious problems in there, and people's homes have been flooded. You haven't heard anything about government officials, so-called government officials, rushing to Linden to give the people a helping hand, to support them financially so that they can rebuild their lives. The corrupt government isn't concerned about that. They're more concerned about using the people, abusing the people, killing the people of Linden. They have done that, all these sort of things. But yet some pakus, some real pakus, now suddenly want to embrace them. This is what I say to the people of Linden. And I'll say it in this form.
Right across Guyana, when the ministers of Granger or Nagamutu come here after the 21st of March, you say to them, walk behind them, chase them out, they're going to be illegal. Say to them, you're illegal.
Well, the same thing you guys have to do with these pakus. You walk behind them. You chase them out. You tell them that they're not wanted. They're not appreciated. Tell them that's it. Because they haven't done anything for the people of Linden. In fact, the people of Linden did more for them. They got house lots, they got land, they got businesses, they got concessions. All these things they benefited. Yep, the likes of a Jermaine Figueroa and all these people. They benefited more from taxpayers. And what they did for taxpayers, collect a couple of handouts, and they put some toys and so forth, and they get a long line and they put the photo, look at toy, look at bicycle, look at toy, look at this, look at that, look at that. Now, it's okay if an NGO does that, but you didn't select or elect a politician or a member of parliament to give you handouts from an NGO to make it look as though that's all. That is all. Now, kudos to the individual or individuals who are responsible for that. But the job of an MP is not to take over somebody's NGO and hand out stuff and make it look as though that's political work, or you're handing out stuff. People want policies. People want to see you fight. And the person who has done most of the fighting there in Linden is someone like Nigel London. And is it Nigel London? You like him? Yeah. Nigel London has been there on the forefront, fighting for you guys in Linden, not guys like what's his name, Jermaine Figueroa and those pakus, not them. Nigel London, Sharma Solomon, and those folks, they carry the fight in Linden. They're the ones. Some popped up afterwards. Guys like Mark Goring just pop up and now trying to use it as though they fought for Linden. No, they didn't. They didn't do that. Nigel London. Good night to Nigel if he's watching, Mr. London. Kudos. Those are fighters for Linden, mind you. And I like fighters. I really do. Sharma Solomon, good night to you, the mayor of Linden. And then you have the young deputy mayor has done some of his work as well. And then you have those guys. But you have people who are fighting for country, and there are some who are just fighting for positions. Be careful with those who are fighting for positions. Just be careful. There are quite a few of them too, right? Just be careful, mind you. All right. Just thought I'd throw that. Yeah, but good night again to the people of Linden. Somebody said that sellout bond is going to be in Linden with a Bishop Edgel. And Linden, do you love me? Make some noise. They have some rally or some meeting in Linden. Chase them. Do not go by their meeting. Do not attend their meeting. Chase them. Let them bust people in. Let them pick up people from Freedom House and other places, and people collect the money and just go for the free ride and support some businesses in Linden and so forth. Some good businesses in Linden, right? Support them and don't go to their meetings. What is it? Let me ask you guys this question. What is it that someone like Bond, of all person, could tell you, the people of Linden? What exactly can he say to you? What? What can he say to young people? Young boys? What can he say to young people? Nothing. What can he say to inspire you guys in Linden? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Those guys are flatfoot hustlers. Jermaine Figueroa is a flatfoot hustler. What can they say to you guys? They have enriched themselves more than anything else. So they just want an opportunity to, they can't capture Linden, but they've got to work for the little crumbs. Do not go to their meetings. Make some noise and probably chase them out. Now, no violence, mind you. You boo them. Drunk them out with booze. Boo. So when I say, Linden, do you love me? Make some noise. You say boo. You chase them out. Chase them out because they are just a pack of chase them out. That's what you've got to do with them. They have nothing to offer you. All they have done is enrich themselves. They got lands, they got this, they got land to dredge gold, all kind of things. That is what they've done. They enrich themselves. Duty-free concessions. They drive around with their BMWs and all duty-free concessions. So a lot of these flatfoot hustlers, they get into political office to steal, to thief from you, to enrich themselves, and then come around occasionally to give you little J's fluid, little detergent when your entire place flood out. And they just want you to think that they care. Do you think you're just worth a little bottle? What is it? A bottle of sweet smell? A bottle of J's fluid? A little small bottle of detergent? Yeah, I should dash the detergent back up there. Tell them, get the hell out of there. You're worth more than that. Don't be fooled, guys. Do not be fooled by those vagabonds. Do you remember the story of Jesus Christ and the devil on the mountaintop? Those of you who remember that story, you can talk about it. The devil looked, and Jagdeo and Irfan, they're the devils. And then they have the disciples like the Bonds and the Thiram and those others, and the McAllisters and so forth. Well, I know of one McAllister, mind you. I know of some other good McAllisters. I don't want to paint all the McAllisters with the same brush, mind you. But they get one. Those are the devil's disciples. So when they come into your communities and they're preaching and your villages and so forth, boo them, tell them they're not any value anymore. You know, it's like gold, and the gold just melt down. Well, they're not even gold. Gold has some good value. They're basically, I don't even know, they're brass or they're just sand, brown sand, right? So chase them out. Linden, so the devil turned to Jesus, according to the Bible, and say, all you need to do is to worship and prostrate on me, and then all the world is yours. Everything is yours. Everything in the world. Don't fall for that trick. The corrupt PVP is going around the country, Linden and other places, and swearing you guys, just like the devil tried to swear Jesus Christ. And so when the devil cannot jack their one ear and they can't swear you, they're finding people who look like you and who probably walk like some of you, pants down, walk and whine. Be careful with those bondage that come in your community and walk and whine, you know. Be careful with the walk and whine. Y'all know that, Calypso? When I know you, girl, you couldn't walk. Now all of a sudden you walk and whine. Well, Bon and them coming into your communities and they're walking and they're whining. Well, whine them back out of the community. Don't let them use your community. Don't let them come to swear you, because there's nothing good that they can offer you. They do not mean anything good for your community. All they are about is just hustling and hustling and hustling. They are of no value at this moment. None whatsoever. None whatsoever. So nothing they say or do should ever move you guys into believing that they mean good for you. They just do not mean anything good for you. And so when they come around, just say, get thee behind me, Satan. Get thee behind. So you tell them, get thee behind. Get there behind. Well, Bon may probably say, sorry about that, guys. My name is Mark Benshap, and welcome to Straight Up. It's 54 minutes after 9 o'clock. What's going on in your neck of the woods? What's happening there, guys? Tell us, are you prepared for September 1st? Let me say this. I am going to ensure that I put aside at least $200 US. When you calculate that, right, it's just about 40,000 Guyana dollars. And I am going to assist individuals with a minibus or 2 minibuses or whatever it can to transport people to go and vote. Get your ID cards. And I want any and anybody going into them bus and go and vote for some other Paku parties. Don't do that. Parties with people who have oppressed you, who have been part of the oppressors for all them years, and suddenly they're singing the blues to you. When I'm feeling blue, all I have to do. Be careful, guys. Be careful. Be careful. So those of you out there who can't make it to Guyana, ensure that you do something to assist someone in your family, in your village or wherever. But make sure that when you give them a little raise, make sure that they go and vote. Let them get up early in the morning, go and vote. Go out and vote, but let them don't waste their vote on goat or upon some boat that's sinking. The PPP is that sinking boat. They have other goats. Just be careful. Don't throw away your love. Do not throw away your vote. And so help out the right set of people in a meaningful way. Because Guyana is not just about getting a stack of $5,000 bill. $5,000 bill. Look, we get it. Money. Yep. Money is not all. Of course, you want money. But there is a bigger issue that we have to deal with. And that is rebuilding Guyana. And once Guyana is rebuilt in a proper way, and all the riches and the natural resources that Guyana gets, a significant portion of that, Guyana could really and truly become a little New York or a little London. Forget about Dubai. Because you've been promised that Guyana will be a little Dubai, but Guyana, instead of becoming a little Dubai, all the little boy has been doing is thieving and thieving and thieving and thieving and thieving. They are a pack of thieves. And when you go out on September 1st to vote, you will keep that in mind, because you want to be able to get Guyana back on track. That is what it is. You want to be able to get Guyana back on track. And so you cannot and should not waste your vote with Pakus and people who never cared about you, who don't care, who never cared that you were persecuted, who never cared that you were incarcerated unjustly and political prisoners and all these things. They never cared about these things. Hundreds of people who were slaughtered, killed in Guyana, they stayed quiet. But suddenly, justice for Adriana Young, right? As though Adriana Young, and there must be justice for Adriana Young, but they're only using Adriana Young for political props. Do they really care about justice? Or is it just about political props? We know who care. We know who want justice for Adriana, and she should. Let me say good night to Adriana Young's parents, if they're watching. So Brian and Amisi, good night to you both, and the little siblings of Adriana. And continue to pray for the family. Continue to pray for other families, the families out in Linden. Continue to pray for families who need all of the prayers. But keep an eye out for those who just jumping now on the justice bandwagon. If you never cared then, why should we trust you now? My name is Mark Benshap. Anything else before we go? Anything else at all? Good night again to the people of Linden, and keep in mind, Bamia Primary School is not open as yet. They've used you, they've abused you, but watch what they're going to do. They're going to say that Bamia Primary School is all set for school in September. That's how they're going to packle you. And then come September, guess what? Bamia Primary School is not even set because of the corruption. The school is already falling apart because they had pacus there building a school that they don't even know what the heck they're doing. So sad. Not only drainage, not only the roads and all these things, even schools are badly done, badly built. It's time for a new government. But when you vote for a new government, it's got to be people who care, not people who are going to use you and have people describing you as scrapes and have people using you as though you're some kind of a yard dog for them, rough and barking for them and trying to protect them against their friends and their cronies that they're fighting a personal battle. When in the end, all of them get back together. Guess what? You're back outside. You can't go in the pool. You can't do nothing. You can't even sit down in the car. You can't even sit down in the studio. You can't even borrow the tie to wear. Or I love you guys. I'm out of here, man. I'm out of here. God bless you. Don't forget our program tomorrow morning with Apostle Greenidge and his beautiful wife, Pastor Greenidge. Listen to their program, 5 o'clock tomorrow morning. I'm out of here, guys. I've had a busy day. You know, got to work. Had a busy day. Very, very busy day. Very busy day. God continues to bless all of you and continue to pray for Guyana. I'm out of here. Watch out for some more press conferences tomorrow. Good night to Doggy. Doggy got to try a thing, man. Doggy got to survive, you know. But do not be distracted, guys. God bless you. And I'll see you tomorrow. Same place, same time. So long.
I can't take it no more. I can't take it no more. Can't take it no more. Imagine 18 hours of blackout and you're telling people progress. Cost of living gone up 100%, yet you give public servant less. Mr. President, listen to the people. Search your soul and you will confess. I want you try surviving on the public base, then you're gonna know but stress. Cause I done fed up, you done fed up, he done fed up, she done fed up, we done fed up, the people fed up. You're hiding corruption inside the cup, look how evil set up. The people fed up. They don't drive no fair with the citizen. They may want the people speak out. Freedom of speech done gone inside the gutter. Knock off when you open your mouth. Discrimination in entertainment. And you're talking about one Guyana. When the Ministry of Culture keep the big shows. One set of girls and banner. Cause I done fed up, you done fed up, he done fed up, she done fed up, we done fed up, the people fed up. You're hiding corruption inside the cup. Look how evil set up. The people fed up. Every picture you take and promise you make, everything you do is about clouds. Then you come into me for I shake your hand, there's nothing to smile about. Corruption inside every sector, but when it comes to them they send you. Try investigate efficiency, right? Go talk to Baratons too. Cause I done fed up, you done fed up, he done fed up, she done fed up, we done fed up, the people fed up. You're hiding corruption inside the cup, look how evil set up. The people fed up.
There and fabricate that. Unless you say who the person is, I can't comment on anonymous people.
Okay, well, let's talk about specific individuals. What is your relationship with Mr. Su Jurong?
Su? Oh, Su. My relationship, nothing. He's a tenant in my.
Yeah, my name is Justity Caldata, Francis Vietnam, and since 1965 I become a voter, and I always place my ex next to the cup. And what they are doing today, I can't take it. So I have no more vote to give to PPP anymore. I'm not going to vote anymore no more. If they have to lose by one vote, they're losing it by data. I have none.
Now we move on to the financial and economic story of the year. We please welcome journalist and broadcaster with Bloomberg, Francine Lacroix, former judge at these awards, in fact.
It's there. It's there.
Once again, the judges were just thinking, what do we do with that music? Let's meet my dance partner. Once again, the judges were bowled over by the diversity and quality of the nominees, as the FPA's definition of what is an economic story is quite broad. All three finalists were described as standouts, and they thought that in a normal year, any one of them could have won. The first nomination is a Guardian long read from Sophie Elmhurst with Superprime. Go for it. Superprime Mover, Britain's most successful estate agent. The judges were very impressed with the quality of the writing in this quirky and unusual piece that lifted the lid on the activities of London's leading luxury estate agent. They found it gripping from the beginning and appreciated the humour in her writing. They praised the extraordinary access Sophie Elmhurst was given to produce this entertaining and intimate portrait of a man at the top of his field. The second nominees in this category are Andy Verity and Sarah Bowen with the Lowball Tapes for BBC Radio 4. This series on the Libel scandal was thought brilliant, as it was a dry subject made truly interesting, an impressive feat. A difficult technical story told very simply but superbly with great verve, which exposed the cover-up of a fraud ordered from the top of the financial system and the prosecution of 38 traders for something not regarded as a crime anywhere but in the UK. It made one judge's blood boil, as it was a story of such gross miscarriage of justice. And the final nomination in this category is from Isabel Young and Belle Cushing of Vice News with Undercover in Guyana. The judges were very impressed that Isabel Young went undercover in this fresh and extraordinary piece of journalism to expose how corruption in Guyana goes to the very top of government, and how she then fearlessly confronted the Guyanese vice president on camera about his own apparent corrupt dealings on huge multinational projects. The undercover nature of this story was sometimes scary to watch, but the payoff at the end was astonishing. One judge said, one of the best TV investigative reports I've ever seen. May I now invite Francine Lacroix to reveal the winner.
So the winners of the financial and economic story of the year are Isabel Young and Belle Cushing for Vice News with Undercover in Guyana.
Hello. Me and my colleague, who we'll call Mr. Chan, presented ourselves as investors looking to get involved in mining, logging and construction. We spent weeks working our way into elite business circles and captured conversations we wouldn't normally have heard. Eventually, we were welcomed to a private country retreat where we met influential business people, including one timber exporter who offered us advice on how to best work the system.
这个国家都是 under table， everything under table， 反正这个国家都是这样子的，最怕的不贪，你贪跟他贪就最好了。
跟谁的关系是最重要的？总统还是？
怎么讲呢？你和副总统关系好的，基本上没问题的。你不用总统啊，副总统你就什么那个打招呼啊，打电话。
我都唔驚啦你。
Congratulations, Isabel Young and Belle Cushing.
There and fabricate that. Unless you say who the person is, I can't comment on anonymous people.
Okay, well, let's talk about specific individuals. What is your relationship with Mr. Su Zhirong?
Su. Oh, Su. My relationship? Nothing. He's a tenant in my place, yeah.
And he's a good friend of yours?
Yes, yes, he is a friend of ours.